Hello. How's everybody doing today? Brother John Stewart on behalf of Lost Sheep Ministries, here to take y'all on another little walk with the word for the day. So today, I got another little beautiful lesson for y'all today out of the book of Psalms. It's not David today. We're not looking at David, but another gentleman that wrote this. I'm assuming it's a gentleman. Could have been a woman, but I think it's a gentleman wrote it. Man, very beautiful lesson, but it's kind of bittersweet. Very beautiful lesson, but it's sad as well. And I just want to jump into this real quick because, man, this touched my heart. And I'm going to see if it'll touch your heart or bring you under conviction the same way it did me. So tonight I'm going to share with you a lesson out of Psalm 42, verses 1 through 6. So in Psalm 42, the Lord tells us this. He says, "As the hart painteth after the water brooks, so painteth my soul after thee, O God. My soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? My tears have been my meat day and night, while they continually say unto me, Where is thy God? When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me, for I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of God with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept holy day. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted in me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance. O my God, my soul is cast down within me. Therefore will I remember thee from the land of Jordan and of the Hermonites and from the hill Mizar." Man, this is so beautiful, but it's sad at the same time. Like I said, this is not David that we're looking at tonight, but we have someone that at one point, he had a really close walk with God. You know what I'm saying? But at some point, something happened. I'm pretty sure it was likely it was some kind of sin involved. You know what I'm saying? But at some point, something happened, and this person lost that closeness. So now, all he has is his memories of the good old days. But of course, you know, that's not nearly enough. You know what I'm saying? He wants to have the grace of God again, and he can't. So all he can do is sit there and think about it, and he's depressed because of it. And that makes sense because it says over in 2 Peter chapter 2, verses 21, it says, "For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness, than after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment." So when you hear that, you can understand this person's disposition. You can understand why he's so sad and so depressed and so down. Because he had a point where he was walking with God. He felt that closeness. He felt that grace of God in his life. And then he lost it. Man, I couldn't imagine that. So I ask you, what about you? What if one day you woke up one morning and you discovered that the presence of God had departed from you? Kind of like what happened to Samson. If y'all know your Bible, y'all know what happened to Samson. Samson had a situation where he was messing with this Philistine girl that he wasn't supposed to be messing with. And he did some things to trick her because she was trying to get him captured. So, you know, she couldn't figure out his strength. So he was telling her little things to do. And he's like, "Oh, if you do this, you can capture me. You do this, you can capture me." And he played with her like 3-4 times. Then finally, one time he actually told her what she needed to do to capture him, which was cut his hair. So she did it while he was asleep, cut his hair. And then he woke up the next morning and he thought like, man, you know what? I just break free from my little bonds like I always did. You know what I'm saying? Just like I did the other 3-4 times. But then the Bible say he didn't realize that the Lord had left him. And that's what happened. The Lord left him. He didn't have the presence of God no more, and he didn't even realize it. And of course, he ended up getting captured. His eyes got gouged out, and he ended up going to prison. You know what I'm saying? So ask yourself, if you was like that, if you was in a situation like Samson, and you woke up and you no longer felt the presence of God, would it break your heart like it would me? It would break my heart. If I woke up and I couldn't feel the presence of God, it would break my heart. So would it break your heart like it would me or the gentleman in these verses? Or would you just be indifferent to it? You know what I'm saying? With me working with the lost sheep, I spend a lot of time in projects and I spend a lot of time in jails. And you'll be surprised about the amount of people that I come across and I ask them about their relationship with God. And they just say like, "Oh yeah, you know, I used to have a relationship with God, but I don't no more." And I mean, they're just so indifferent to it. Like it's just another Tuesday or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they just say it so casually. Like, "Yeah, no, I used to be close to God, but I'm not no more." Like it ain't no big deal. Like that blows my mind. You know what I'm saying? That blows my mind because, man, I'm telling you something. If I lost this presence of God that I feel in my life, I would be devastated. You know what I'm saying? I would be absolutely devastated if I woke up and I didn't have that presence. If I woke up like Samson and it said God had left me. So I ask you, what's the difference between me and them? Why is it that they can be so indifferent to it and me, I would be devastated? And the answer is this: your heart's desires. See, your heart's desire. See, most people have more of a desire for the things of this world than they do for the presence of God. You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you, if they woke up and they didn't have no food to eat, they'll be acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? They woke up and their partner was gone, like maybe the wife had left them or the husband had left them. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you they'll act a fool. They'll be sick. You know, if they woke up and all their bank account had been drained, they had thousands of millions in their bank account, and they woke up and it was gone, I guarantee you they'll act a fool. They wouldn't be indifferent to that. Or maybe they were some drinkers. They woke up and alcohol was not a thing anymore. Man, they would lose their mind. Or maybe they're drugs. You know what I'm saying? They're a drug addict. They woke up and they didn't have their waking bait. You know what I'm saying? I've seen how people behave when they need that fix. I've seen people, I've been around drug addicts my entire life. So I've seen how things get when they need that fix and they can't. They act a fool. They lose their mind. And I always think, like, man, just imagine what the world would be like if we all had that same desire for the things of God. If we would lose our mind because we couldn't get in our Bible. If we would lose our mind because we can't go to church. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when COVID came out and they told people they need to stop gambling. Man, I almost lost it. You know what I'm saying? Thank God I worked with some people that had just the same desire as me, and we just kept on going to church. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go soul winning for a little while, and that bothered me. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't because I didn't want to go. It's because I knew people were scared because they didn't know what to expect. You know? But if we had the same desire for the things of God that we have in this world would be a better place. So I ask you, does it bother you if you have to miss church or that you miss church? Does that bother you? Does it bother you if you don't get to read your Bible? You know, does it bother you that you don't get to go out and tell others about the Lord? Does it bother you that you don't have a regular prayer life? If not, then you really don't have a desire for the presence of God in your heart. And you gotta have the desire to really be able to please God. You gotta have a desire to want to please God because it's not easy work. It's not hard. And a lot of times you don't really get to see the benefits till you go through the door called death. But you gotta have the desire. You look at the great men in the Bible, they had a desire to please God, and that's why they was able to go through what they went through. Look at Joseph. He got sold into slavery for no reason, just because his brother was hating on him. And you know what I'm saying? If you look at the story of Joseph, he never once complained about being into slavery. It was one time he's made a complaint, and he wasn't even complaining about being in slavery. He said, man, because they put me in slavery, I can't worship my God like I wanted to. This dude was sold into slavery, you know what I'm saying, on some bogus stuff, and his main concern was the fact that he couldn't worship God because he had a desire to be in his presence. Same with David. When David got ran out of the land, he was upset, and he prayed. You look at the prayers and some of the Psalms he wrote, he was upset, and he was like, man, Lord, bring me back so I can be in your presence once again. That was the worst part of it for him, not being able to be in God's presence. You know, the Israelites, after they had conquered the promised land, you know, some of them took land on the east side of the Jordan, some took land on the west side. So the ones that was on the east side, as they was getting ready to go head home, they set up an altar that almost started the war because they was concerned that the people on the west side weren't going to let them come and worship God anymore. You know what I'm saying? Then the ultimate one was Jesus on the cross. You know what I'm saying? When he called out, my God, why have thou forsaken me? We always think it's because he was in so much agony because all the torture and the nails. No. That's not what broke his heart. That's not what broke him. What broke him was the fact that was the first time in all of eternity that he couldn't feel the presence of God. When Jesus was on the cross and he became sin for us, that was the first time in all of eternity where the Holy Trinity was broken apart. And that's why he said, why hast thou forsaken me? See, they all had the desire to be in God's presence because they understood the significance of it. So you got to think about that. You know what I'm saying? If you have no desire to be in his presence now, what makes you think you're going to be happy to dwell in his presence forever? And that has been your little walk with the word for the day. I pray these are blessing y'all. If they are, make sure you like, tag, subscribe, repost, comment, do all that stuff to help people out. If you want to catch me live, catch me Facebook Live, Monday night, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. And I post them on my Facebook page, then put them on my YouTube page. You need to find all my little social media outlets. Go to lostsheepministry.com. You can find them all there. If you're not 100% sure about your salvation, reach out to me and let me know. I'll put some time in my schedule to go over the gospel with you. I love you all. Remember, I always watch your back and pray. Till next time, peace.